Hi guys, my name is Christine and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach. And today I'm talking about the power of attractiveness, okay? And this is a video about basically how by not chasing women or love in any kind of way helps you appear more attractive, okay? Because yes, if you are outwardly attractive, that will always get your foot in the door with women or whoever it is that you're trying to attract, okay? But if you don't have the vibe to match, then sooner or later, your looks can only get you so far, right? So it's all about having the correct vibe, because if you've got the correct vibe, it doesn't matter how good looking you are, okay? And no one can tell me, okay, that guys who are ugly can't get women, because I see it all the time. Okay, and obviously ugliness is in the eye of the beholder, but I've seen many men who have receding hairlines, who are short, who are overweight. My dad personally is overweight and he has a lazy eye. He's married, he's happily married, and my mum is actually extraordinarily beautiful. She's way, way, way beautiful than me. And also with my mum as well, even though she's in her 60s, she still gets men coming up to her. Obviously they're men that are usually the same age as her, right? But she still gets attention from men, okay? And my dad was able to win her, even though he's always been overweight since the age of 14, yeah, and he's got a permanent lazy eye, okay? So you can't tell me, right, that ugly guys can't get women or can't get married and have kids and have a successful life, because they totally can, okay? It's just sometimes I think a lot of people just use that as an excuse. Like even women do that. They think, oh, I can't get a man because I'm too fat. I can't get a man because I'm too ugly. When in reality, it's all about the vibe. Because the thing is that usually if you do have, let's say you are challenged in the looks department, and you're not Brad Pitt basically, or whoever else, whatever floats you, whoever you think is good looking, what can happen is a lot of people develop low self-esteem because of the fact that they feel like they don't match society's standards of beauty or handsomeness, okay? And because that then brings insecurity into that person then behaves in a way that is needy, insecure, unconfident, because that's just the way that they see themselves. Whereas if they had the vibe of someone who was attractive, let's say you were attractive, let's say you were the hottest person on the planet, okay, and if you live like that and you pretend and act as if you are that, you will begin to act more confidently and more sure of yourself, and your self-esteem will rise, okay? Now, I'm not saying that that's the best avenue to do that, to pretend that you're good looking. There are other ways that you can develop your self-confidence and your self-esteem without sort of, pretending. But that's the issue. That's the real issue. The issue isn't your looks. It's the same for a woman. If you're watching this, it's not your looks, it's your vibe. It's always your vibe, okay? So why is it then that when someone doesn't chase, okay, why is that then perceived as attractive, okay? If you're not chasing women, or if you're a woman watching this, you're not chasing guys, why is it then that when you do that, more people will start to be more interested in you? Okay, now this all goes into the scarcity mindset, okay? And the scarcity mindset is just something that I think we have built inside of us, because advertisers are able to do this to us. So for example, let's say there's like a reunion tour of a famous band. What they'll often do is they'll make limited tickets, limited places where they're going to. So basically those tickets will sell really, really quickly, because they've advertised that there's not many tickets, there's not many venues that they're going to on their tour. And so people often crash the websites and things like that, because they're trying to get tickets, because they know that it's going to sell out really quickly, because there's scarcity. That is the same thing that applies to if you're not chasing someone. If you're chasing someone, what you're doing is essentially something along the lines of this. You're in their DMs a lot, okay? You're constantly talking to them, or you're trying to constantly talk to them, okay? You're letting them know all the time that you're interested in them. Perhaps you sometimes feel insecure, so you keep on asking, do you like me? Do you like me? You know, you're becoming too familiar. You're always there. Whenever they open their phone, they see some notification from you in some shape or form. So that's why people who chase are deemed less attractive, and people that don't chase are seen as more attractive. And this works with men and with women, okay? If you don't chase, if you have self-respect as well, because that's one of the main core issues that is the reason why some people do chase, as well as self-esteem issues. And you've got the self-respect to be like, okay, let's say, for example, you send a message to someone that you like, okay, and they don't respond to you. Okay, if you've got self-respect, okay, and you're in that mindset of not chasing, and you've got that vibe about you, okay, you're not going to send another message. Whereas someone who's insecure and worried and fearful, who seems themselves as unworthy, what they're going to do is they're going to send another message. They don't get a response to the, hey, how are you? So they send another message, let's say a day or two later, saying, what's going on? I thought everything was going great. We had a great date the other night. Why aren't you responding to me? And it's all coming from this place of insecurity, because if you're feeling insecure, you want to feel secure. And because the object of your attention is the thing that's making you feel insecure because they haven't responded, you need to reach out to them and they need to give you a response so you can feel secure again. Okay, and that's what's going on there. So, the idea then is to build self-respect, your self-esteem, so that you don't, even though it may suck if you are going on a date with someone and you really, really like them and they don't respond to you, yeah, it may suck, but you've got that self-respect enough to be able to rein in your feelings, look at things from a logical standpoint and think, you know what, it's not going to be in my best interest to message them again, right? They've ghosted me, or they're taking a long time to respond. I'm just going to move on with my life and focus on other people that I'm dating, because for whatever reason, they haven't messaged me back. Either their attraction has dropped or something else is going on. So I'm just going to, you know, put that person to one side and focus on the other people that I'm dating, and also focusing on my life and my dreams and my goals and things like that. Because another thing that can play into this as well is if you make your love life and finding a boyfriend, finding a girlfriend, whatever it may be, if you make that your main priority, okay, then you're going to automatically display emotional feelings of not having that self-respect. You're going to be making mistakes, essentially. You're going to make mistakes with them, emotional mistakes, because for whatever reason, you've made relationships your main thing. That's your main goal in life, okay? And when you make that your main goal in life, you make mistakes. You make emotional mistakes, okay? Now, it may be that most of the time maybe your game is pretty tight because maybe you've watched a few videos of mine or someone else's, and so you kind of know that you need to restrain yourself. But if you haven't really done the inner work to make yourself feel more secure and not needing outside validation to make you feel secure, like from other women that you're dating or men that you're dating, if you're doing that and you're looking for their validation, then you don't have real self-esteem at all, and you're going to make emotional mistakes. So, for example, you may be doing everything really well, and then one night they don't respond very fast to your message, and then your head just goes into overspin, and you're like, why haven't they responded? What are they doing? Who are they with? What's going on? You know, and maybe you go out with your friends, you go out and have drinks, and therefore you're even more likely to make an emotional mistake. But if you're alone with your thoughts, you're just ruminating over this person in question, then yeah, you're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna do something or say something to them that shows weakness, that shows insecurity. Whereas if you hadn't have chased them down, if you'd just left it, maybe they would have come back, or maybe they wouldn't have. But at least then you'll still have your self-respect, right? So the way that you can show self-respect, then you can start developing this within yourself, is you've got to respect two things when it comes to dating, okay? Especially when dating. And that is, you've got to respect your time and you've got to respect your energy, okay? So your time means you're not going to be pushed around when it comes to your time. If, let's say, for example, you ask a woman out on a date and everything's all set up and you're ready to go, basically, and let's say an hour before the date, she messages you to say, oh, sorry, I can't make it now. Okay, now think about this, right? You've been thinking about the date all week, more than likely, right? You've got yourself, like, maybe you went and had a haircut, maybe, you put an effort in some shape or form, even if it's just rumination effort into what you're going to do on the date and stuff. And maybe you planned the date too, and you told her where to meet you and what time and stuff. So you've put energy and time into your, into this process, right? And she cancels last minute. Now, someone who doesn't have self-respect will just be like, okay, when are you next free then? Well, let's do it another time. Someone who does have self-respect will just say, no worries, or something like that. They won't go on to say, okay, well, when are you next free or anything like that. They won't try and make an alternative or make another date. Okay. That now is left to the other person to do. Okay. That's the woman's job now to make an alternative because she cancelled your date. Okay. You shouldn't be then trying to think, okay, so when are you free then? Are you free later? Are you free tomorrow? Well, don't do that. Okay, just say, okay, no worries. And just leave it at that. Okay, if she cancels, it's then her time. If the ball is in her court, it's her time to say, but I am free this time. I am free then. I am free next week. If she's doing that, then yes, she's putting in the effort, and then maybe the reason why she flaked on you is because of a good reason, okay? But if she doesn't give you an alternative and she doesn't say when she's next free, then you don't involve yourself with her anymore because she is wasting your time. You put time and energy into leading up to that date, and she cancelled, and she hasn't even given you an alternative time or day when she can see you. So you're not going to allow her to waste your time potentially again, because maybe she will. You don't know. Especially if you're the one that's trying to make something happen again, because she'll just think, okay, let's say she's not interested in you. What she'll say is she'll just go, oh, okay, well, okay, well, yeah, I'll meet up with you again. And then what will happen is the same thing will just happen, because really what's going on is she's just not that into you, okay? So you won't have, if you've got self-respect, you've got no time for people that waste your time. Now, it's not like you're angry with them or you're bitter with them and you tell them, how dare you waste my time or anything like that. You just accept, you're like, yeah, fine, that's okay, don't worry. But don't do any more after that. You just don't do any more. Okay, you've put in the effort. She rejected that effort by not seeing you, and she hasn't given you that alternative time. So you're not going to put any more time or any more energy into it. She has to do 100% now of everything. Okay? And that shows self-respect. Okay? You're not going to chase. And that is very attractive, because what may happen is if she does have some feelings towards you, what will happen is she'll be like, okay, I haven't heard from him in a few days. I thought that he was going to, try and make another date happen. Looks like I have to do something, because it seems like he's not talking to me now after I cancelled on him. So if I want to keep him in my life, I'm going to have to do something. So then she goes ahead and chases you and reaches out to you. And then you can decide whether or not you want to have another run at her and see if she'll go out on another date with you, or you can try and arrange something again. But that's the kind of attitude that you got to have. You got to have that kind of vibe of, if she's showing anything less than enthusiasm for me, and she's showing these behaviors that are half in, half out, kind of like, maybe I'll go on a date with him, I've got nothing better to do. You reject those women, okay? You focus your attention on women who are enthusiastic about you, who do show up to dates, or if they can't show up to a date for whatever reason, they'll give you an alternative time when they can see you. Because this is the truth about women, and basically it's the same with women as well. Like, if you're a woman watching this, if a woman really wants to see you, if a guy really wants to see you, they will put in the effort and they will try to do that no matter what. They will try to do that no matter what, and you've got to trust that, okay? So if they're doing anything less than that, you got to let them go. And that is the most self-respecting thing to do, and also that will prevent you from chasing people down that are just not into you, okay? And they'll show more attractiveness in you, okay? And if you've got that ability, then other women or other guys will be able to sense that in you. They'll know that there's just a certain, they can tell by the way you speak to them, the way that you interact with them, that they've only got like one strike and they're out, okay? And that is how you can show that attractiveness, even if you feel like you're challenged in the looks department, okay? So if you would like to get coaching with me, then please go to www.christinelovage.com. and just pick whichever coaching option works best for you. The website is in the description of this video. And if you would like to coach yourself, if you can't afford coaching right now, which is completely understandable considering the economy that we're in right now, you can easily coach yourself by reading my book, Attracting the Beautiful Woman of Your Dreams. And you can go and read this completely for free on my website. All you have to do is when you're on the website, again, link is in the description, just click on the menu, go to the book. It's literally titled The Book. Click on it and you can start reading it completely for free. You don't have to sign up for the website. You don't need to log into anything. You don't have to give me any of your personal information or details. It's just completely there for you to read for free on the website, so you can start coaching yourself today. And this is the basic outline of my knowledge when it comes to dating and relationships, so you can get a good overview of everything that you need to know, the basics, the fundamentals, and then you can start applying these things today. The only thing is that you may need to read it a bunch of times, and also you may need to review it as well, like maybe every 6 months, and also supplement it with watching my videos too. So my videos really are just a companion to the book, okay? So make this your main priority, and my videos just something maybe you want to listen to in your car or something like that. Or obviously there's other coaches online too that give fantastic, fabulous advice. So if you get sick of my voice, then I'm sure there's someone else you would rather listen to. Okay, so that's all you need to do to coach yourself. Okay, guys, and ladies out there too as well, because women will get a great insight from this book too, because also there are some things in there about just general attractive behaviors. It is targeted towards men and like lesbians and bisexual women, so they can attract women, but there are things in here that you can absorb that will make you a more attractive woman too. Okay, so thank you so much for watching, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye.